Hello, wonderful friends out there. My name is Nana Osei Bonsu Jr. and this is Analyze This. As we said last week, Analyze This is to analyze issues from archaeology to zoology, as a friend of mine would put it. And today we're going to continue on the analysis of the program on Net2 TV called Who is Behind the Mask. As we promised last week, we are going to be critically following that program and we'll bring you a dispassionate analysis of that particular program, Who is Behind the Mask, on Net2 TV. Again, I want to say this program is not in support of ANALYZ. Neither is it in support of Net2 TV. We all know that Net2 TV is leveling a slew of allegations against one of Africa's best journalists, Anas Arimiyao Anas. As a matter of fact, one of Africa's best investigative journalists, let me put it that way, Anas Arimiyao Anas. And today we're going to be doing a part 2 of the analysis of Who is Behind the Mask on Net2 TV. So today we're going to be talking about gifts, the difference between a gift and a bribe. You see, it is worrying when Net2 TV showed the videos they were showing, which they claim happens to be Anas setting up the platform to entrap these public officials, so to speak. We're not here to authenticate the videos. I don't work with them. We don't work with Net2 TV. We don't work with Anas, so we don't know whether the video is authentic or not. That's not what we're here to establish. But what we are going to be discussing is we are assuming that the video is authentic. We are assuming that the video is authentic. And if it is, it was disheartening when I was watching on Net2 TV and people were commenting like, oh, it's just a gift, and we just gave a gift to these people, and these people are now being maligned and being accused of receiving bribes and what have you. It's sad, and I believe that Net2 TV can do a better job by doing some explanation, because they understand investigations, they understand investigative journalism, because I believe they have a department within that institution that deals with investigative journalism. So I think they are doing a disservice, a great disservice to its viewers and the nation at large for not explaining certain things to the people. Talking about a gift of $8,000, and we are all emotional about it. Come to think about it, $8,000. Do you know how many beds $8,000 could buy for hospitals? Do you know how many books $8,000 could buy for schools? Do you know how many roofing materials or building materials $8,000 could buy to build schools for our children? Please, let us watch these things critically and analyze them, so nobody will come and throw dust in our eyes. Talking about a gift, there is something we call ethics. Ethics. And every company has ethics. So one, I want to believe that these so-called public officials who are being entrapped or who are being given gifts, one, do not know the ethics of their institution. Or two, they know the ethics of their institution, but they are simply violating those ethics. Look, do you know why you cannot even give a police officer a gift? And you see, we need to be thinking about some of these things. You can't give a police officer a gift because it is believed that there is a very thin line between a gift and a bribe. Because your gift can influence the police officer when it comes to taking a decision on issuing you a citation. So, anytime you give a gift which borders on somebody influencing something in your favor, it is not a gift. It is no longer a gift. It becomes a bribe. And in any case, if a genuine public official, you were meeting businessmen who are coming to do genuine business in your country and they offer you a gift, I was expecting any of them to say that by virtue of my principles or by virtue of the ethics of my institution, I cannot accept a gift from you. And none of them, not a single one, so far the ones that I've watched on Pt2 TV, not a single person said that. And it is not worrying to anybody that are public officials, people we have entrusted our power to make decisions on our behalf and coordinate the resources of our country, don't even have the intelligence to say that by virtue of my principles or by virtue of the ethics of my company, I cannot accept this bribe. Excuse me. And we are not worried about it. And that is very worrying to me. Because corruption is killing our beloved country. Corruption is killing our continent, Africa, our beloved continent, Africa. And so, please, I believe that we can do a better job. If we are going to be showing some of these videos, let us explain to the people. Let's give them further explanation as to what a gift is and what a bribe is. And I believe that this is even exposing some of these public officials to us, telling us that they are of no integrity, telling us that they don't really understand what they're doing in office, what they're supposed to be doing. Because if they do, they will not be accepting gifts. So, when you take into consideration some of the companies here, for instance, in my company, I cannot even accept a gift of $50. Yes, I cannot accept a gift of $50 from my contractor because I'll be fired for doing that. It might be a gift, a genuine gift from my contractor to me. But the fact that it can influence me in making a decision in his favor or in her favor, I cannot do that. And that is what we have to establish. So for them being given gifts to the tune of thousands of dollars, and we think it's okay, they can take gifts, please. And in any case, were those gifts declared? Did they pay taxes on those gifts? Or they just took it quietly, thinking that nobody saw it? You see, these are some of the things we should be talking about. Not unmasking Anas Arimia or Anas. I think it's not important. It's not important. The most important thing is to unmask corruption in our country, killing our country. No ambulances, no hospital beds, no books for kids, no schools. These are some of the things we should be worried about. That people we have entrusted power to make decisions and coordinate our resources don't have integrity to reject gifts. And that is not worrisome. Then I don't know. I seriously don't know. Again, they spoke about the fact that, let me see, yes, the fact that these people were set up. And again, we were talking about setting people up as if it's an evil thing to do when it comes to investigation. It is done all over the world. It is an accepted investigative practice all over the world. They set people up every time. They have decoys. Sometimes they even set people up by making investigators portray as prostitutes and be walking around the streets to pick up culprits who are patronizing prostitution in countries where prostitution is deemed to be a crime. Sometimes they even set people up by making investigators marry people they deem to be culprits or being guilty of a crime, but still don't have any empirical evidence to nail them or to pin them to that crime. They set people up every time. It is no new thing, and it's not a crime once you're able to establish the truth. It is accepted. So please, we have to do some more explanation on that program to the people who are watching, for them to understand some of the nitty-gritties of what goes on in investigation, and not trying to demonize Anas Arimi Anas, or not trying to, as it were, unveil Anas Arimi Anas. It is very important we understand some of these things. Setups are always accepted, and they are used in investigation. So please, let us explain some of these things to our viewers, because setups are not wrong. That is the only way. As a matter of fact, looking at the depth of corruption and the extent of corruption in our country, that is the only way we can expose some of these corrupt officials. Yes, that is the only way to get them red-handed. I don't care whether it's a gift. You can paint it any way, sugarcoat it any way, call it a gift, call it from me to you, call it whichever way you want to. Once it is meant to influence your decision. And you see, let me say this. These are some of the things our public officials do when we're getting external investors into our country. So when these investors come and they start doing things wrong, our public officials cannot say anything. They don't have the guts to say anything. They cannot bring them to task or bring them to book. Why? Because they have taken gifts. So please, there is nothing like a gift when you are in public office. You are not supposed to be taking gifts from people, especially people who are there to do business, where your decision is very paramount. Either it's going to be skewed towards them or against them. So people come in and present dubious documents or don't even have the proper documents, but by virtue of some gifts exchanging hands, we don't have the guts to say it. And we allow all sort of businessmen to come into our country. And we're not even looking at it from that angle. So please, we need to do some explanation. It is not a gift. It is a bribe. It is a bribe, not a gift. And that is the reason why we need to set these people up, for them to expose these dishonest public officials. Because it is disheartening when we don't even have a single one of these people in the video standing for principle or standing for the right thing to be done. Because they know you cannot take a gift, especially a gift of that magnitude, in thousands of dollars. They know you can't do that. It's against the ethics of their company or their institution or their office. So it is not a gift, it's a bribe. And we have to explain this to our viewers as well. If we really want to educate, if we really are fighting corruption, as it's claimed on the Net2 TV station, I am not against that. And I don't mean you are not fighting against corruption. But all I'm saying is, if you really are fighting against corruption, then you have to skew your attention to fighting corruption and not unmasking Anas Arimi Anas or demonizing him If you have any concrete evidence, present it. But what you're presenting, I think it's not concrete, and it's too murky, and it's confusing some of us. Thank you for spending time to be with us. Next week we are going to be continuing. We'll bring you part 3 of the program, Who is Behind the Mask, showing on Net2 TV. We are here to analyze it and bring you the nitty-gritty of some of these things, so you would have something to ponder over. You would have something to broach over. You would have something to think about, so people would not throw dust in our eyes in this fight against corruption, because corruption is killing our beloved country. If you really want to follow us, bring your dissenting opinions and views. We're here to discuss it. We're not scared of any dissenting opinions or dissenting views. You can bring them up. Our number is 347-268-3655. We're on WhatsApp as well, 347-268-3655. You can also find us on Afriwick on YouTube by typing Afriwick Media. If you go to YouTube, you type Afriwick Media, AFRIWIC Media, you can find us. Bring us your questions, your contribution, your concerns. Like us and share us. Share it to your friends and to your loved ones, so together we can analyze issues and come to a better conclusion. Thank you once more for listening to us. See you again next time. Shalom.